Hey there, future virtual rock stars. Sassy trainer Maiko is back in the building. Picking up right where we left off in our HighLevel versus HubSpot explainer, let's dive into part 1 of this brand new series comparing HighLevel to 5 other major industry platforms: ClickFunnels, Kartra, Linktree, Keep, and Vendasta. If you want to master this tool and really impress your future clients, you need to know exactly how it stacks up against the competition.
To impartially unpack the marketing claims out there, we're going to organize our analysis into 5 key themes. We'll look at the fragmented marketing stack, compare core platform features, dive into pricing models and scalability, explore white labeling versus reselling, and finally talk about migrating data and assets.
Section 1. The fragmented marketing stack. Moving beyond piecemeal software. HighLevel's documentation argues pretty heavily against what they call the Frankenstack approach. Using one tool for emails, a totally different one for pipelines, and yet another for calendars. Honestly, it's a mess, honey. And as top-tier virtual staff, we literally do not have the time for messy workflows. Juggling 5 different passwords and constantly switching browser tabs just to launch a single campaign, no way. That is a fast track to burnout for sure. Instead, the sources position HighLevel as an all-in-one solution. So what does this all mean? In layman's terms, it means you log into one single dashboard that unifies your customer relationships, your sales pipelines, your marketing automations, and absolutely every single communication channel. It's like putting all your puzzle pieces into one neat little box.
All right, Section 2, comparing core platform features, specialist tools versus comprehensive suites.
According to the source material, you really got to look at real-world use cases to understand the core feature differences here. Like, if your client is just an influencer who needs a simple page of links in their bio, Linktree's absolutely fine. Or if they run a super niche brand that just needs basic pages, Kartra suits them pretty well. But if your client is an agency that's actively scaling up, the documentation claims you need HighLevel. Why? Because it's built for complex multi-channel sales pipelines. We're talking full funnel automation, a complete CRM, and built-in two-way messaging. You can build multi-step automations that, for example, instantly text a lead the exact second they fill out a form. Honestly, comparing the two is like the difference between buying a single light bulb and wiring the entire house. And this perfectly illustrates the real-world perspective highlighted in the sources. Take verified user Jeff Widener, for example. Former Kartra users like him cite a desperate need for greater control over triggers, campaigns, and reporting. When you're the virtual assistant managing these client accounts day in and day out, you need that granular step-by-step control. You absolutely need to be able to set up conditional logic. Stuff like, if a lead opens an email but doesn't click, send them a text 3 days later. That kind of control lets you run automated workflows that actually convert, rather than just hitting a wall because of basic software limitations.
Moving right along to Section 3, pricing models and scalability. Flat rate versus tiered growth penalties.
Okay, let's look at the hard numbers. Because what's really interesting here is how the sources frame platform pricing. They specifically criticize competitors that literally charge your clients more just because their business is successfully growing. The documentation explicitly compares Keep, which charges a whopping $299 a month for just 2 users and limits you to 1,500 contacts, against HighLevel's approach of offering unlimited users and unlimited contacts. So what does that mean for you? Well, it means you, the virtual assistant, get your very own login with custom permissions, and it doesn't cost your client an extra dime. You don't get punished financially just because you captured more leads or hired more virtual team members.
The sources emphasize a very specific monthly flat rate as HighLevel's starting point, $97. They argue that this provides predictable scalability without subscriber caps or those sneaky tiered pricing games. For an agency owner who, hey, might be your future boss, knowing overhead is locked at a flat rate is absolutely vital. And frankly, it makes your job infinitely easier. You don't have to audit software bills every single month to figure out why the tech stack randomly went over budget. Thank goodness for that. Next up, Section 4, white labeling versus reselling. Owning the brand versus paying per client.
So let's dive into this concept of white labeling. In layman's terms, it simply means putting your client's gorgeous brand name, logo, and colors on someone else's software to sell it directly as their own proprietary product. The comparison here claims platforms like Vendasta act as a reseller, where your costs actually scale up with every single new client you bring on, meaning the more you sell, the more they charge you. Whereas HighLevel's fixed-rate white labeling means signing 5 customers or 500 customers costs you the exact same base amount. Anything your agency charges its clients on top of that results in pure 100% profit.
All right, final theme, Section 5, migrating data and assets.
the logistics of switching platforms.
I know exactly what you're thinking. Switching tools is an absolute nightmare for virtual staff. Usually, you're the one stuck manually copying and pasting data for weeks. But the marketing materials directly address this concern. They provide testimonials like this one from former ClickFunnels user Michael Kittinger, who argues making the switch is entirely worth the effort. Why? Because it replaces a simple page builder with an entire operational platform to run your business. You aren't just moving files around, you're upgrading the whole shebang.
Now, are you ready for the cost to migrate? Actually, let me just tell you, it's zero, honey. Zero. The documentation clearly states that HighLevel offers zero-cost concierge migrations. That means real, actual human support helps your team move everything over without paying an extra dime. Talk about taking a massive weight off your shoulders as a virtual assistant, right?
And just look at what exactly you can seamlessly move over, practically everything. You can migrate custom domains, lead capture forms, products, entire sales funnels, and landing pages straight from platforms like Kartra or ClickFunnels into HighLevel. As a virtual assistant, you just use their familiar drag-and-drop building blocks to set it all back up, organizing your client's entire business into one beautifully streamlined system.
So, based on everything we've impartially explored today, I want you to think about this. If HighLevel truly offers an all-in-one solution for unlimited users at a flat rate, what unique niche capabilities might still make other legacy giants competitive? We are going to unpack all of that in part 2 of this explainer series. Sassy Trainer Mikko signing off for now. Keep learning, stay fabulous, and I will see you in the next one.